Reset. Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spin Rack, and we also have
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
we are doing a review of Mickey 17. That's Robert Patterson. We don't know much else about it, so Cal, did you have any thoughts on it? Because I don't know anything about it.
I'm with you. I know nothing about this.
Here we go. Oh, it is done by I believe the director of Parasite. But let's let it rip. What do you say, sir?
I don't know. This looks like. This reminds me. Did you see this film, Baby Driver?
Yes, yes.
It looks like it's taking. It's a mixture of well-used conventions and genre. Mixing them. There's definitely a mix there, but in a manner that might actually be interesting enough to watch. Because the thing that got me in the Baby Driver was the music, and that's the one thing that's keeping me interested in here. With who was that scene? Is it Frank Sinatra or Tony Bennett? I can't tell. I can't remember, and I can't tell right now. But okay. It's the same thing with the guy who wants what he wants to change. He's going to do this, but where's he going to go? This is not going to be an earthly thing. He's going to go to space. Of course, there's going to be some complications, some hijinks ensue. It might actually be entertaining.
Yeah, it definitely, when I first started watching it and it's showing you the hook of it, him dying many times, and it kind of is like, you had the huge success, not a huge success, but probably on video or in streaming of Edge of Tomorrow, where you had Tom Cruise dying many times. It's kind of reverse engineering this, and this be a part of the person's character, and it's a good bit that one of them comes back home, and but at the same time, I would if if I was disposable and my earlier self came back, would I want to kill him immediately? I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, the music, the trailer, and it's taking more of a cynical approach to space, whereas I think a lot of the space things have been kind of like trying to sell you on the space race when there's nutty stuff going on in our space race right now. So, but this looks like it's going to be some fun. It built up. There's a lot of actors and actresses that are from some of our favorite stuff, or public's favorite stuff, I'd rather say. So, it looks like it could be interesting, and Robert Pattinson has fans from everywhere, and I think this thing that was a Tenet, like Tenet was something I think as a kid I would have loved to see because it's so, like so wacky and it had a science fiction, but it had the reverse stuff going on. But the pandemic didn't allow it to actually go where it was supposed to go if it was going to be a success or not. So he has something with a visionary director from Parasite and see what they do next. But at the same time, it is a sophomore. They allowing you to enough rope to hang yourself, and then you have to figure out what happens next. So it looks good. I think because ultimately what I saw that Fallout show, which turned out to be pretty good. So you can have your wacky futuristic story, and basically, hopefully there's something here. But it looks like there's something there. It looks like it could be fun, and it could look like if you're supposed to sell what's in the trailer. So if you're gonna have some classic music in there, that could be fun in your space setting. So I mean that's what 2001 kind of sold you, was saying you can't hear anything in space. That's why we could put classical music out here because in actuality we wouldn't have explosions and all that stuff that you would hear. You know. But what else am I gonna say? What are your thoughts of Robert Patterson as the leading man, as the Batman series? He's coming in. Do you think that post Twilight, he's either making the most of it? He's the right choice of the guy to make it out of Twilight. What are your thoughts on him in general?
I don't really have any. I
Well enough, yeah.
I did not think that Twilight. I was not the demographic they were aiming for. Clearly, And I'm one of these guys who got raised on the Universal monsters. So it was, werewolf, Dracula, Frankenstein, and sometimes the creature from the Blue Lagoon, the Mummy, that type of stuff. But the vampires I grew up were pretty tough to kill, and they couldn't come out in the sunshine and turn into diamonds or any of that type of nonsense. And they certainly were not love interests. They weren't love interests, for any human female. So I found a lot of this stuff to be just boo crazy at the end of the day. So I didn't really tap into too much there. I thought he was a, I mean, my biggest exposure to him is in the Batman,
Hmm.
which I like. My brother had a very good criticism, though. I'm paraphrasing, but he didn't like the movie and he thought it sucked. But he looked at him and said, "Look, this guy does not look like Bruce Wayne because of that. That took him totally out of the thing with
Yeah.
him as the Batman. It didn't matter about the rest of the story. He couldn't plug in because of that. I said that's more than fair. He does not look like any Bruce Wayne I've ever seen. It want to go with this real emo route, even if that's an overused term. So fine, but I thought he was fine for I thought he was fine for Batman. I'm not sure what he's going to do over here. Obviously, only other thing I saw him in was, did you see the Netflix movie The King?
The what?
The King.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, I think I forget who did. I think this was. I can't remember. It's historical fiction, and I can't even remember the English king that it was about. But Patterson played a French king in that, and he was fine. He was fine in that as well, no problem. So, obviously, people want to work with him. They like him. We got this. This may show some more acting chops on his part. So again, as we've said for a lot of these recent things, this is a wait and see. But I have to admit, the music by Dean Martin, as sung by Dean Martin, Ain't That a Kick in the Head, really, pulled me into the whole thing. So for that, I have some interest, which just goes to show you, having a good soundtrack can go a long way to getting you some viewership.
Yeah, it's funny. And this goes back to, I guess, I guess Car Wash, having Royce doing Car Wash is, I think probably different, but I use who's that guy? Phase on Love. You're talking about movies in the '90s. He said black movies take 2 months to do the movie, to say like something like Friday, take 2 years to do the soundtrack. That kind of work on the music as much as you can. So
Oh yeah, what was that thing? The Book of Clarence.
yes, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness,
Yeah, that story was hot rubbish, but the soundtrack was really good.
the scene
The
I
music,
saw
the
it. I
music was
just
really
saw
good.
I saw the scene where was it Nights Over Egypt. I was like, oh my god, I wish I saw that in the theater. Like that's one of my favorite songs. And I was like, oh man, I wish I saw it in the theater. But anyway, there you go. You have what's it? Mickey 17. No, that's Mickey 18. But we have this new thing, and so it looks like outside of Mark Ruffalo, there's a lot of British talent in it. So, and obviously the guy from The Walking Dead is British, but he's reestablished himself with that, like, it's not, I don't remember the name, the spy versus spy type story. So he's back, everybody. He's back, and I guess about it. Any other words? We good
Not for
idea?
me.
All right, cool. Spinner rack
We're out.
out.